Welcome back, everybody. Now, before I get into the video today, I want to say thanks to everyone who's liked, viewed, or commented on the previous video I made, the AMV that I posted about a week ago. See, a lot of people liked it, and I'm really glad that that was received well. Put a lot of work into that. It was a super fun project, so I'm glad you guys liked it. If you haven't checked it out, the link will be in the description below. But on to today's topic, what's going to happen at the end of Wano. Now, a lot of us expected Wano to end at chapter 1053. We kind of expected the entirety of the arc and the entirety of our placement in Wano to be over at that time. But as far as 1053 goes, we kind of get the sense that that's not the case. Now, if we take a look at everything we've been left in 1053, we have Green Bull approaching. We have more information about Pluton, which is said to be in Wano. We have no sight of Kaido whatsoever, no sight of Big Mom, other than CP0 saying their ship cut communications as soon as they saw Big Mom's ship. Now, when we take a look at all of that together, there's obviously still more that has to happen in Wano before the Strides leave. You know, we can't just pack up ship and roll out of here when Pluton's supposed to be here. Green Bull's going to try and stop us. We haven't seen a word or anything of Kaido. Like, there's still too much for us to just leave. And I think all those pieces come together in one way. So let's look at it like this. We haven't seen Kaido in 7 days. We haven't seen a lot about Kaido other than the small backstory we got. But throughout Wano itself, Kaido has made several mentions to Wano being a very special place. He has made mention that he chose this spot for a reason, he stayed here for a reason, and basically it's almost like he's been searching for something to happen in Wano. If Kaido were to just be defeated and then he's like, okay, I'm done with Wano, that makes no sense for the entirety of his character or the entirety of the arc. So that means whatever Kaido is looking for in Wano, I would assume he is finding it now. I would assume the reason we haven't seen Kaido is because he's found what he's looking for. And I think what he's looking for was Pluton. Now, Kaido's kind of goal has never really been king of the pirates, so to speak. He ultimately wants to get the ancient weapons and start a massive war, which almost in lines with being king of the pirates just because of some of the things you have to do. But king of the pirates is not Kaido's goal, it's Luffy's goal, it's like Big Mom's goal. It's not Kaido's. And this isn't new. I mean, we had Whitebeard who also didn't really care about being king of the pirates. So we have the Yonko who, they have different aspirations. They don't, necessarily want to be the top of the top. They want something different. Now, if Kaido's been looking for Pluton and he hasn't been able to find it and he's been waiting for certain keys to kind of activate to get to Pluton, what if that key is just opening up Wano? What if Wano is closed off because they were trying to protect Pluton? And one of the ways they did so was they basically buried it deep within Wano and then made Wano inaccessible. And that becomes more crucial now because of two things. One, Kaido has been out for a little bit and we know he got pushed basically underneath Wano. And two, basically the volcanic explosion that took place opened up a lot of what was keeping Wano basically isolated. Now, based on Momo's words, we aren't still fully open, so there might still be some kind of, hills, the waterfall. There might be a few things keeping people out of Wano, but the fact of the matter is that structure that basically was on place to keep Wano kind of isolated should be broken up at this point. Based on the way Kaido and Big Mom kind of went into the ground, into the lava, that whole portion should be blown out. Now, what happens when you have all that excess lava leaving basically out of the ground? It might open up some channels underground. One of those channels being one that leads to Pluton. If Kaido was just kind of like floating around in the lava, didn't get blasted out, there's a very good chance he ended up somewhere where he can find Pluton. And that also makes sense for Kaido's sake because we can't have Kaido come back to Wano. There's honestly no stopping him. If Kaido wants to step back up, if Kaido wants to rage in Wano and start, taking out people, taking out land until he gets what he wants, he can do that. Luffy wasn't able to stop him in Gear 5 for a very long time, and that's after the other supernova, the Scabbards, Yamato. That's after Kaido fought so many things and carried an island at the same time. So they are not immediately stopping him again. So I think the smartest way to kind of take care of Kaido, because One, I don't think he's dead. And two, he can't just take back over Wano. That defeats the entire purpose of the arc. I think he has to find purpose elsewhere, and if he finds Pluton, that means he no longer needs Wano. He can go start his war because he has basically one of the ancient weapons. Now, how does that factor into some of the other pieces? For example, Green Bull. I think Green Bull is here to, in fact, try and capture Luffy. If Green Bull walks up to Luffy and Law and Kid, Killer, Zoro, he's not beating them. He's going to lose that fight, especially if it's just by himself. You know, I don't want to doubt the Admiral's strength. I don't want to say that he's weak just because he's newer, we haven't seen him yet. He seems definitely strong, but he's not going to be strong enough to take care of everyone who's still in Wano right now. It's just not possible. It would make no sense story-wise for him to walk up here, have this bravado, and then be able to wipe out everyone. He would get folded. That's how it is. But if he sees Kaido leaving Wano with Pluton, or if he gets any kind of idea that Kaido has found Pluton, that's something that he has to pretty much take back and report. I think that would take precedence over capturing Luffy, and that would give a good reason for him to leave without engaging in any fights. And now the reason I think that Pluton is buried as far as Wano goes is because that's kind of the idea Crocodile had. He was of the impression that Pluton was buried in Alabasta, and there was a specific location that he had to go to basically dig it up to find it. So he was looking through the poneglyphs to see where the location was. If it's in Wano, it could be the same case where it is buried, and we just need the location to find it. And there's the additional piece of Kaido possibly needing a key to activate Pluton. And when I say key, I mean basically some kind of physical object or catalyst that kind of kickstarts Pluton. And I say that because not only did Kaido say Wano was incredibly important, he said Yamato's fruit was incredibly important, and that he sought to find that fruit for a reason. He said it's Wano's protector. If that's Wano's protector, that could very well mean Yamato's fruit lies in with Pluton, as in it protects Pluton from being misused. It can be used with Pluton to protect Wano itself. There could be some kind of correlation here, and there could be a reason why Kaido sought out that fruit. And now this could go one of two ways if Yamato ends up being a key. That could mean Yamato gets kidnapped along with Robin, and basically they are taken a part of Kaido. And Kaido has Pluton, Kaido has Yamato, Kaido has Robin, and then he has several pieces that he could use to start a giant war. I think that's somewhat unlikely because that would indicate that we have to fight Kaido again. That would indicate that we have another rescue mission for Robin, which I think we're not going to do again. At most, we see Robin end up in the hands of CP0, but I don't think that goes the same way that NS Lobby did. But I don't necessarily think that Kaido is going to be kidnapping people. However, it does give more use to Yamato and Robin in the fact that Kaido has unleashed an ancient weapon, and as far as activation, as far as knowledge goes, those two would be the most knowledgeable. And if they go with Luffy, that gives them an upper hand in whatever kind of war Kaido starts after, finding the ancient weapons. And as a final point, if we think about what Whitebeard said, Whitebeard said that when the One Piece is found, a giant war will start. So, just finding the ancient weapons isn't exactly the catalyst for the epic war to start. If Kaido finds Pluton, that doesn't mean our next arc has to be stopping Kaido from using it. I think that would still be Luffy needs to find the One Piece, understand how the ancient weapons work, and then we kind of deal with that war. I'm of the firm belief that the war will involve all three ancient weapons. So I could see Kaido on one end having Pluton. I could see the world government, the Marines, having Uranus, and I could see either Luffy or like the third party having Poseidon. So I could see a three-way clash between these ancient weapons kind of causing a huge war to start, and basically Luffy and the rest of the crew having that knowledge of finding the One Piece would be our saviors in this kind of aspect. They would be the ones to quell this war. If we look at some of the stuff that Oda has added in the Road to Laugh Tale, so some of the not necessarily cut aspects, but just the hints they're dropping, he mentioned 3 different places where that last poneglyph might be, and one of them is being Elbaf. So I think we have places to go outside of just heading straight to a war. I don't think we're going from this war to the next one. I think we end up finding some more information about the world. We have more searching to do. And of course, to do that, we need Robin. But one of those places being Elbaf, I think means we're going to see more Big Mom, who also had the idea to collect poneglyphs and read poneglyphs. Now, Big Mom's idea is to be king of the pirates. She doesn't really have the aspiration that Kaido has where it's a side piece. She wants to be king. Now, she also wants to create a world where everyone can sit at tea party together and be equal, so to speak. But she mainly wants, that king of the pirates role to accomplish that. She wants to be the top of the top, and then she wants to be able to have a tea party with people surrounding her. So her motivations are a bit more in line with, wanting to be king of the pirates with Luffy. So I think we're going to see more of her, and that's why she's not showing up much in the end of Wano. At most, I think she ended up with her ship, and the reason CP0 lost connection is because Big Mom's there. They took him out, they headed back home. And at most, we'll see more of them possibly in a cover story of Big Mom returning, and we'll see what's happening in Wano, who invaded Wano, because I still think someone besides Germa invaded Wano. But to wrap that all up, we still have a lot left in Wano to go. I think that's the direction we're going to end up taking, and I feel like a lot of those pieces end up lining up together. Of course, Oda could subvert, Oda could do a lot of different things that we're not going to expect. He usually does, but I do think some of these things are pretty planned out, and I feel like we'd be seeing some resolution in going this path. There's still a lot of pieces here in Wano that we kind of have to hit, and I think it'd be really clean if they kind of all connected together instead of being very separate random pieces. But let me know what you guys thought down below. Just like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.